Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now today I want to share with you my Gamecube collection. So I've come into the living room where I keep my Gamecube, Wii, Xbox 360 and also over there my Dreamcast games. And I want to share with you my Gamecube collection because I think it's small but perfectly formed, as it were. I think it says an awful lot about the type of games that I enjoyed on the Gamecube, or indeed I do enjoy to this day. And also some of the reasons why that system rocked my little world when I was in high school. So without any further ado, and in no particular order, with the exception of a couple of games, let's proceed. So first of all we have Beautiful Joe! Capcom's amazing side-scrolling comic book style beat-em-up platformer, artistic, beautiful, crazy thing is a game that's well worth playing. They did release it on a couple of different systems, but in my humble opinion, the Gamecube version looks possibly the best. It certainly plays very, very well, and if you haven't tried it, you should give it a go. It's kind of hard to explain. Beautiful Joe is superb, especially if you like those sort of comic book style games. To be honest, I mean, the only other game I can think of that's similar really would be on the Mega Drive. The title escapes me, but I'll put it on the screen. It's brilliant. Next we have Timesplitters 2. Timesplitters 2 by Eidos was brilliant. It was made with some of the original people from the development team on GoldenEye in '64, and it's a fun, quirky, imaginative, responsive, beautiful first-person shooter on the Gamecube. If you want a good first-person shooter on that system, you cannot go wrong with Timesplitters 2. Just get it, it's a great game. 9.5 says Cube Magazine out of 10, and it's well worth that, definitely. Next we have Metroid Prime on the Gamecube. Now Metroid Prime is a prime example of what the Gamecube could do graphically, but also I think for me it blew me away because it challenged my preconceptions when it came to first-person shooters. Now, I'm probably never going to be able to do a Let's Play of this because the way that Nintendo stomp on Nintendo videos. So what I will say now then is that I think this game is brilliant because of how it uses the control scheme. So for example, the screen is Samus's display. It's her HUD, her heads-up display, and therefore you have a sense that you're looking through her helmet, through her eyes. You are her. And you've got her on-screen prompts and commands in and around the visor. Now, adding to this sense of being in the suit is the way that they didn't use the second analog stick, the C stick on the Gamecube controller, in a conventional way. So you couldn't strafe with it, for example. This gave you a slight sense of claustrophobia if you were used to playing games such as the aforementioned Timesplitters 2. And initially I didn't like it, but then once you get used to it, for example, using lock-on to strafe around enemies that you want to shoot, suddenly you realise actually it makes you feel again as though you're in her robotic armour. It makes you feel slightly constrained at first, but then it liberates you. It's a very, very clever game, and also spawned 2 follow-ons. So you know they can't have gone too far wrong with that one. Some people don't like it because it was a step away from the side-scrolling classics on this, for example, the NES and the SNES. But it's Metroid Prime. It's brilliant. Next we have King Kong, or rather to give it its full name, Peter Jackson King Kong official game of the movie. This game, I believe, won a couple of awards for having one of the longest game titles of all time. It's quite good fun. You get to play as Jack, the character, not Jack Black, and also as Kong himself fighting dinosaurs. It shows off something of what the Gamecube can do graphically. It's just a good fun, fairly solid game. You know, it's very playable. I'd recommend it. Okay, next we have Super Mario Sunshine. I've already talked about this, but it divided people. Some people were expecting something different, other people really, really liked it. The people at Nintendo were really happy with it, but it just seems that some people just wanted something slightly different from Super Mario's outing on the Gamecube. Now, I love it. At times, yes, admittedly, it does feel like you're playing Super Mario Community Service Simulator, when you're having to clean up the island and get rid of paint and graffiti. But actually, it's a beautiful game. The water effects are amazing, and it really does build up to some of the ideas that you see, for example, in Mario Galaxy on the Wii. So it's a great game. Get it. If you haven't tried it, try it. Try it out. Definitely do. Okay, I'm going to take this block of games off here. There we go. So next we have Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. A brilliant game. I've already talked about this again. This game is superb. It plays with you. I suppose most games were expected to believe that the reality presented within the game has certain rules which are fairly strict. So even if you're Sonic the Hedgehog going at like the speed of sound, you're able to do that. That's just the rules of the game. In this game, they present you with rules and then they break them all. They completely mess with your head. And Sanity's Requiem is a very appropriate title. This game deserves a sequel. If anyone out there ever makes one, I will play it. It's a great game. Next we have The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. A superb Zelda game, again, a bit like Mario, not quite what some people were expecting, but a cel-shaded beauty. Still to this day, the graphics stand out as being amazing, just beautiful, almost like watching a Pixar animation in motion. And my version actually is the authorized for rental version, because I got it back when I was working in Blockbuster in high school. A superb game, 10 out of 10. According to Nintendo Official Magazine. Next we have Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2. Superb. This game, at the time, and to a certain extent to this day still, looks beautiful. And as I've already said when I was talking about why I love the Gamecube, some of my friends thought that this was like playing the movie. And to a certain extent, it still is a beautiful, beautiful game. I personally prefer its prequel on the N64, but it didn't stop me from getting this because it's a superb entry to the Gamecube library or catalogue. Next we have Beyond Good and Evil, a very interesting game, been described by some, actually IGN apparently, as being Zelda for grown-ups. And it's well worth playing. I won't talk too much about it. I don't want to spoil anything about the plot, but it's well worth it getting hold of, especially if you like Zelda type games, adventure games. Get it. Beyond Good and Evil. I believe it's getting a sequel. Next we have SpiderMan 2. This I did do a little let's play of because this game has superb physics and webbing anchoring requirements. Check that video out if you haven't watched it. It's, in my opinion, probably the best Spider-Man game to date, and that includes everything that's come since. I simply had to keep it. Actually, I did get rid of it, but I rebought it recently because I was missing it. Because I tried other Spider-Man games, it just wasn't holding up to it. It just wasn't. Next we have Zelda: The Promotional Disc. Includes 4 classic games, collector's edition. It has on it The Legend of Zelda from the NES, Legend of Zelda 2, Zelda 2, the Adventure of Link, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and also Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, plus a playable demo for The Wind Waker. This disc is, I don't know, somewhat collectible, but I got it because it had the other 4 games on it, because at the time I didn't have the N64 with me in uni. So I took this with me instead, and I was able to play those amazing games that came on the disc. So next we have, we're getting there, the Sonic Collection, Sonic Mega Collection even. 7 amazing games, including Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D, Sonic Spinball, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. It's a good solid collection. Again, I think I got this in uni because I didn't have my Mega Drive with me and I was missing Sonic. So yeah, and again, when Sonic was out, back in the heyday of the Mega Drive, I never would have dreamed that I'd see Sonic games on a Nintendo console. It's amazing how the world can change. Okay, next we have a whole series of games which are very, very important to me. We have, let's just go through them, shall we? Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil the Remake, we have Resident Evil 2, we have Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and we have Resident Evil Code Veronica X. All of these games were released on the GameCube. For a while. Nintendo had this amazing deal going with Capcom, and the remake is still, to this day, I think, probably the best Resident Evil game. It recently got a re-release on the Xbox Live Arcade in a HD edition, and I plan on getting that, especially if it comes out in a physical disc. Wouldn't that be amazing? And I'd love to see that treatment given to this game, probably the best Resident Evil game of all time, whereas this is probably the best Resident Evil experience of all time. It's a complex love I have for this series, but they're all great. You should try them if you can. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Oh, we have 2 games which I probably got just for my brother, and that is ISS Soccer 2, International Superstar Soccer 2, and also we have FIFA Football 2004. They're football games. I'm not particularly interested in them. But I got them because my brother likes playing football games, and therefore I think I had them so we could both play them. Yeah, and also they lose value. I mean, when 2005 came out, this was like 50p on trading, so I thought I might as well keep it. Oh, next we have Batman Begins. Splinter Cell, but with Batman. What's not to like? It's a great game, and obviously this is in the days before Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and soon to be Arkham Knight. This was probably the best that Batman had ever been, and still is a very passable Batman game with really interesting textures, a little bit muddy I suppose, but a good effort at making Gotham feel grimy and dark, and some passable driving section I suppose. A little bit clunky, but a good Batman game. You should try it if you can. Next we have Mario Kart Double Dash. Not everyone's cup of tea, a little bit like Mario, Sunshine and Wind Waker. Some people didn't like the dual driver element, so each car can have 2 drivers, hence Double Dash. This is once again a rental copy, I believe. No, this one came with a console. Probably came with a console that I used to own, in fact. I like it. It's a good entry to the Mario Kart series. It's not the best Mario Kart. I'm not going to, not going to kid myself about that. But it has some great tracks which to this day are still used in Mario Kart entries. So it had to exist. It's a good game. Good game. Next we have Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. This is a strange one. It's from Team Sonic, or Sonic Team, and it's actually from the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog as well. It's a bit of an odd one, I won't lie, but me and my friends in uni really enjoyed it. It's very light-hearted. It's very kind of like, it reminded me of sort of Banjo Kazooie, oddly enough. I liked it anyway. You go around collecting eggs, being sort of chickeny. I think lots of chicken jokes in there from what I can remember. Okay, 3 more games to go, I think. 3 more games to go. So next we have X-Men 2 Wolverines Revenge. This is a really good X-Men game. Even though it has him on the front, some people don't like him and some people don't like the movie games that should come out linked with the films. But actually, the X-Man, the Wolverine that you see in this game, I'll sort of bring it up there, is much closer to the Wolverine that you see in the comics. He doesn't actually look like Hugh Jackman, in fact. So, so it's actually a good game. It's an okay game. It's not a great game, but it's very passable if you like being Wolverine and you like beating people up and shredding them up with his claws. That's why I've still got it to this day. Next we have 2 games, which I believe I bought for my wife. So first of all we have XMen Legends. She'd just been given a GameCube when she was in uni, and I had a Wii. In fact, I gave her the GameCube because I got a Wii. And I gave her this game to play with it. She likes the X-Men, and she also likes that sort of squad-based sort of gameplay. And this is sort of RPG elements. It's a very interesting game. A bit disappointing, but very playable. X-Men Legends. And then we have Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door. If you liked Paper Mario, I think on the 64, that's when I first played Paper Mario, then you'll probably like this game. Very cute, very papery, very sort of RPG-ish. It's a good game, and a bit of a classic, I'd say. But again, for some people it was a bit hit and miss. The GameCube seemed to do that with people. It seemed to sort of make some people go, no, not as good as the old ones. Even though we were getting something fresh and different from Nintendo. Anyway, guys, that's my GameCube collection. As I say, it's not the most impressive, not the largest. That's what she said. But, but hopefully, at the very least, it's given you a bit of a sense of why I like the GameCube as a console. It had a wide variety of games, and there are other games, for example, like the F-Zero X, for example, which were amazing. And this is just a small sample of some of the brilliance that you can get on that console. Anyway, as ever, until next time, do take care. Bye bye.